If your wife has started acting like this, she has already cheated. This is not speculation, this is not paranoia, and this is not insecurity speaking. This is the reality of female psychology when a woman steps outside of her marriage. What you are about to read today is something that most women will never admit out loud, but these 6 attitudes, they give us away every single time. And if you are seeing at least 3 of them, brothers, you need to know the truth. The truth is, when women cheat, they think they are master manipulators. They think they can compartmentalize, that they can keep their secret lives completely separate from their home lives, that they can maintain the facade of a devoted wife while indulging in the thrill of something forbidden. But here is the thing about the female mind that most men do not understand. Our bodies betray us. Our energy shifts. Our priorities change. Our entire relationship with reality bends to accommodate our guilt. And if you know what to look for, it is as obvious as a neon sign flashing the word guilty in bright, undeniable letters. Before we dive in, take a moment to hit that like button on this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment telling us what city you are watching from today. This information could save your heart from being shattered into pieces, because what you are about to read isn't just theory. This is real-world psychology. This is female behavior decoded, and once you see these patterns, you can never unsee them. See, here is what most men do not understand about female psychology. When a woman cheats, it is not just a physical act. It is an emotional earthquake that shifts everything about how she operates. Her priorities change, her energy changes, her entire relationship with reality changes. And these changes, they are visible if you know what to look for. The problem is, most men are too close to the situation to see clearly. They are too busy loving her, trusting her, making excuses for her, rationalizing away her strange behavior because they cannot bear to face the alternative. But we are going to give you the clarity you need, the uncomfortable, painful, necessary clarity that will either save your marriage or save your sanity. Because here is what women will tell you if they are being honest. We are not as complex as we pretend to be. Our behavior patterns are predictable. Our tells are consistent. And once you understand the psychology behind why we do what we do after cheating, you will never be left in the dark again. Attitude 1. Her phone became her best friend. The first attitude shift that signals infidelity is sudden phone obsession. Before she could leave it anywhere, now it is surgically attached to her hand, always face down, always within reach, always protected like it contains the secrets to the universe. Men, you know exactly what we are talking about. That moment when she takes her phone with her, even to the bathroom, when she steps into another room to answer texts, when she angles the screen away from you as if you are a stranger who might steal her identity, when she says, "It is work," or "just my girlfriend," but the energy feels different, nervous, secretive, protective, like she is guarding something precious that you are not allowed to see. Here is what is really happening psychologically. When a woman cheats, her phone becomes a portal to her secret life. It is not just a device. It is a gateway to another world, another relationship, another version of herself that exists outside of her marriage. And she guards that portal like it contains state secrets because in her mind, it does. Think about it for a moment. Every notification could be him. Every buzz could be the excitement she is no longer getting from you. Every message is a hit of dopamine from her new reality, a rush of pleasure that she craves like an addict craves their next fix. And she knows deep in her soul that if you ever saw those conversations, her world would explode. Her children would see her differently. Her family would judge her. Her friends would whisper behind her back. And the comfortable life she has built with you would crumble into dust. So she develops phone behaviors that would make CIA agents proud. Face down on the table so you cannot see notifications, never leaving it unattended for even a second. Taking it to the shower, sleeping with it under her pillow, even charging it on her side of the bed where you cannot reach it. These are not the actions of an innocent woman. These are the actions of someone who is living a double life, someone who has something to hide and is desperate to keep it hidden. But here is something most men do not realize. This phone obsession is not just about hiding conversations. It is about maintaining her emotional connection to him throughout the day. She is not just protecting evidence. She is protecting her lifeline to the excitement that is missing from your relationship. She needs that constant contact, that reassurance, that validation from him because it fuels the fantasy that makes her feel alive. Watch her face when she gets a text. Does it light up? Does she smile before even reading it? Does she get that little flutter of anticipation that she used to get when you first started dating? That is not a work message, brother. That is not her girlfriend. That is the person who is making her feel alive in ways you apparently no longer can. And that is a devastating realization, but it is a necessary one. Because once you understand that her phone has become a portal to another man, you can no longer pretend that everything is fine. You can no longer convince yourself that you are being paranoid. You can no longer ignore the evidence that is staring you right in the face. Trust your gut, men. When a woman's relationship with her phone changes dramatically, her relationship with honesty has already changed, too. And once that trust is broken, the phone becomes both her weapon and her prison, giving her access to her affair while making her paranoid about discovery. It is a vicious cycle, and the only way out is the truth. Attitude 2, irritation from nowhere. The second attitude that signals infidelity is explosive irritation at the simplest questions. How was your day? What is for dinner? What time will you be home? And she snaps like you just asked for her social security number, her mother's maiden name, and the password to her secret email account. And you are standing there thinking, what did I do wrong? You asked a normal question. You showed normal interest. You engaged in normal relationship conversation. And suddenly, you are the enemy. Nothing. You did absolutely nothing wrong. But her guilty conscience is working overtime, churning away in the background of her mind like a motor that never stops. Every question from you feels like an interrogation. Every show of care feels like control. Every normal interaction feels like a threat to her secret world. Here is the female psychology behind this phenomenon. When a woman is cheating, she is living in a state of constant stress. She is managing two realities, two sets of emotions, two different versions of herself. She is trying to be a devoted wife at home and a passionate lover in her secret life, and that mental load is exhausting beyond measure. She is constantly monitoring what she says, what she does, what she reveals, because one slip could bring her entire world crashing down. So, any additional pressure, even innocent questions from you, feels like the last straw. It feels like an intrusion, a demand, a burden that she simply cannot bear. But there is something deeper happening here, something even more insidious. She is also starting to resent you for being you, for being the good guy, for caring, for asking normal relationship questions. Because every time you show love or concern, it reminds her of what she is destroying. It reminds her that she has a good man at home, a man who loves her, a man who trusts her, and she is betraying that trust in the most fundamental way possible. And that reminder makes her angry at herself, but she takes it out on you because you are a safer target than her own conscience. It is also a defense mechanism, a way for her to protect her fragile ego from the guilt that threatens to consume her. If she can make you the bad guy, controlling, nosy, suffocating, then she can justify her actions. She can tell herself that you are the problem, that you are the reason she sought comfort elsewhere. He does not understand me. He is always checking up on me. I cannot breathe in this relationship. See how that works? Your normal, loving behavior becomes ammunition for her betrayal story. Your care becomes control. Your love becomes a cage. And she convinces herself that stepping outside that cage is justified, even necessary, to preserve her sanity. But here is what is really twisted about this attitude. She is training you to stop asking questions. Every explosive reaction teaches you to give her more space, ask fewer questions, demand less transparency. She is conditioning you to enable her betrayal by making honesty feel like an attack on her freedom. And the most devastating part, you start walking on eggshells in your own relationship. You begin censoring your natural care and concern because you do not want to trigger her. You become a ghost in your own marriage, tiptoeing around the very woman who should be grateful for your love and trust. You become complicit in your own deception, all because you are afraid of her reaction. So, when your wife starts treating basic relationship communication like it is an attack, understand that you are not the problem. You are just in the way of her guilt-free cheating narrative, and she needs you to back off so she can continue betraying you in peace. She needs you to stop asking questions, stop paying attention, stop being present, because your presence is a constant reminder of her betrayal. And that reminder is unbearable. Attitude 3, she is glowing, but not because of you. The third attitude is perhaps the most painful one of all. She looks happy, confident, attractive, radiant, like she has discovered the secret to eternal youth and vitality. But you can feel it in your bones, deep in your gut, in that primal part of you that knows when something is wrong. You are not the source of that glow. Men, have you felt this? When the woman next to you is blooming like a flower in spring, but you know in your heart that you are not the sunlight making her grow. She is buying new clothes, more time in front of the mirror. She is taking care of herself, investing in her appearance in ways she has not done in years. But when you compliment her, there is this weird reaction like you just intruded on something private, like you caught her doing something she was not supposed to do. Because she is not dressing for you anymore. She is not investing in her appearance for your benefit. And your attention now feels like an invasion, a violation of the secret, exciting new reality she is building without you. Here is what is really happening on a psychological level. Affair energy is intoxicating. It is new, forbidden, dangerous, and intoxicating. It makes women feel alive in ways they forgot were possible. That rush of secrecy, the thrill of being desired by someone new, the excitement of stolen moments and whispered conversations, it creates a natural high that is almost impossible to replicate in a long-term marriage. And that high, it shows. It shows in her posture, her walk, her smile. She walks differently, talks differently, carries herself with a confidence that seems to come from nowhere. But it is not from nowhere. It is from him. He is the source of that newfound vitality. He is the reason she is glowing. The cruelest part is watching the woman you love transform into her most beautiful, confident self, knowing that another man is the catalyst for that transformation. You are the one who has been there through thick and thin. You are the one who has supported her, loved her, and been faithful to her. And yet she is becoming the woman you fell in love with again, just not for you. She might suddenly become more adventurous, trying new styles, surprising you with unfamiliar energy. For a moment, it feels like the spark is back. It feels like the early days of your relationship when everything was exciting and new. But something about it feels rehearsed, like she is drawing from an experience you were not part of, like she is practicing for someone else. It is why some men describe those nights as both exciting and strangely distant. The person beside you looks the same, but the connection feels altered. Her presence is there, yet her thoughts, her emotions, her fire seem to be reaching somewhere else entirely, directed at a ghost you cannot see. But here is the psychological twist that will break your heart. She is not glowing because she is happy about the affair. She is glowing because she is finally feeling desired again. She is glowing because someone outside of her marriage has made her feel attractive, valuable, and wanted. The attention, the pursuit, the feeling of being pursued, it is like a drug. It is addictive. It is consuming. And you, the faithful husband, have become familiar, predictable, safe. And safety to a woman in an affair mindset feels like death. She craves the chaos, the uncertainty, the emotional roller coaster that comes with forbidden love. Your steady, consistent love cannot compete with the adrenaline rush of sneaking around. It cannot compete with the excitement of the new. And that is the tragedy of infidelity. The very qualities that make you a good husband, your stability, your reliability, your faithfulness, become the reason she seeks excitement elsewhere. So, when you see that glow, remember, it is not about him being better than you. It is about him being different. It is about him being dangerous. It is about him representing everything her comfortable life with you is not. And tragically, That comfort you have provided, that security, that stability, has become the very thing driving her away. She has confused safety with suffocation, and she is running toward the excitement of the unknown, even if it destroys everything she has built with you. Attitude 4, the ghost in your bed. The fourth attitude is perhaps the most confusing and disorienting of all. Physical intimacy without emotional connection. She might even become more active in bed, surprising you with energy and enthusiasm that has been absent for months or even years. But something feels off. You feel like you are making love to a ghost, to a body that is present but a soul that is somewhere else entirely. It is a strange and unsettling experience, and many men cannot quite put their finger on what is wrong. But their intuition knows. They feel the distance even as she is right there beside them. Here is what is happening psychologically. When a woman cheats, she often separates sex from love. This is a coping mechanism, a way to compartmentalize her actions and avoid the guilt that would otherwise consume her. She tells herself that what she is doing with him is just physical, that it does not mean anything, that she still loves you. But that compartmentalization has a side effect. It bleeds into her relationship with you. She starts to see physical intimacy with you as just physical, too. The emotional connection that once made sex meaningful starts to fade, and she is left going through the motions without really being present. She might even become more adventurous in bed with you, trying things she learned from him, surprising you with new energy. But there is a coldness to it, a distance, a sense that she is performing rather than connecting. It is as if she is going through the motions, checking a box, fulfilling an obligation, rather than truly being with you. This is one of the most devastating aspects of infidelity because it robs you of something precious, the sense that you are truly connected to your partner. You feel like you are sharing a bed with a stranger who knows all your intimate secrets but is holding something back. And that feeling is corrosive. It eats away at your confidence, your trust, your sense of self-worth. But here is the even more painful truth. She may be thinking of him when she is with you. She may be visualizing his face, remembering his touch, imagining his voice, while you are right there, giving her your love, your trust, your body. It is a betrayal that goes beyond the physical, a betrayal of the most intimate connection two people can share, and it leaves you feeling hollow, used, and profoundly alone. The emotional distance that accompanies this physical intimacy is a sign that her heart is no longer fully invested in your relationship. She is giving you her body, but her mind and her soul are elsewhere. And that is a wound that takes a long time to heal, if it ever does. Attitude 5. The rewriting of your history. The fifth attitude that signals infidelity is the subtle rewriting of your shared history. Suddenly, your marriage was never that great. Suddenly, you have always had problems. Suddenly, she has been unhappy for years. She starts bringing up past grievances that she never mentioned before. She starts painting your relationship in a darker and darker light. It is a classic psychological defense mechanism. She needs to justify her actions to herself, and that means rewriting the narrative of your marriage. She cannot face the reality that she is betraying a good man, so she has to convince herself that you were never that good. She has to believe that she was unhappy all along, that you failed her, that you pushed her away. It is called cognitive dissonance, the mental discomfort of holding two contradictory beliefs. On one hand, she loves you and knows you are a good man. On the other hand, she is cheating on you. These two truths cannot coexist. So, her mind resolves the conflict by changing the truth. She tells herself that you were not a good husband, that you did not meet her needs, that she had no choice. And as she tells herself this story, it starts to feel like the truth. She convinces herself that she is the victim, that she is justified in her actions, that she deserves better. And the more she tells herself this story, the more she resents you for being the villain in her narrative. She starts to see you as the enemy, the obstacle to her happiness, the reason she had to seek affection elsewhere. It is a complete reversal of reality, but to her, it feels real. And that is the danger of cognitive dissonance. It allows her to betray you without feeling like a bad person. It allows her to destroy your marriage while feeling justified. But here is what you need to understand. This rewriting of history is not about you. It is about her need to protect her ego. It is about her inability to face the truth about herself. And it is a sign that she is no longer invested in your relationship. She is looking for reasons to leave, reasons to justify what she has already done, and she will find them, even if she has to invent them from scratch. Attitude 6. She is rewriting the future, too. The sixth and final attitude is the most devastating of all. She starts making plans that do not include you. She starts talking about her future in the singular, not the plural. She starts dreaming about things that you are not part of. It starts small. A comment about wanting to travel somewhere you have never discussed. A mention of a career change that would require her to move. An offhand remark about how nice it would be to live alone. But it grows. She starts making concrete plans that do not involve you. She opens her own bank account, starts looking at apartments, talks about how she needs her own space. And you can feel it, the slow but steady withdrawal of her commitment to your relationship. She is no longer investing in your shared future. She is planning her escape. Psychologically, this is the final stage of emotional detachment. She has already left the relationship in her mind. She is just waiting for the right moment to make it official. The affair has given her the courage, the validation, and the incentive to leave. She has a new source of emotional and physical fulfillment, and she no longer needs you for that. So, she is slowly, methodically, building a life that does not include you. And you are left wondering what happened to the woman who once promised to love you forever. The truth is, she changed. She changed when she opened herself up to someone else. She changed when she started investing her emotional energy in another man. She changed when she began imagining a future without you. And once that change has happened, there is no going back. She may stay for a while out of convenience, out of fear, out of habit. But her heart is already gone. It is already with him. And you are just a placeholder, a safety net, a stepping stone on her way to a new life. Do not let that be you. Recognize the signs, trust your instincts, and have the courage to walk away before she destroys everything you are. Men, you need to hear this. Respect goes before love. It always has, and it always will. A woman who truly respects you will never betray you. She will never lie to you. She will never make you feel like you are losing your mind. She will communicate, she will be honest, and she will work through problems with you rather than running from them. If you are seeing these signs, you are not crazy. You are not paranoid. You are not insecure. You are observant, and it is time to take action. It is time to have the difficult conversation. It is time to set boundaries. And if necessary, it is time to walk away. Because staying in a relationship where you are not respected, where you are being lied to, where you are being betrayed, is not love. It is self-destruction. It is slowly eroding your self-worth, your confidence, and your sanity. And you deserve better than that. You deserve a woman who chooses you every day, not one who is making plans behind your back. You deserve honesty, loyalty, and respect. Do not settle for less. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you experienced any of these signs? How did it play out? Did you stay or did you leave? Were you able to rebuild trust, or was the damage too great? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one and personally reply to as many as I can. Your experience might be the one that saves another man from the same pain. Your story could be the warning that opens someone's eyes before it is too late. Because sometimes the hardest thing to see is what is right in front of you. And sometimes the strongest thing you can do is walk away. And remember, the next video is going to expose the exact psychological tricks women use to test a man's strength without him even realizing it. You think you have never been tested? You are about to find out how wrong you are. Women test men constantly, not out of malice, but out of instinct. They test to see if you are strong enough to lead, stable enough to rely on, and secure enough to handle their emotions without crumbling. These tests are often subtle, almost invisible, but they are happening all the time. And if you do not know how to recognize them, you are failing them without even knowing it. So, hit that subscribe button so you do not miss it. Turn on the notification bell so you are the first to know when the next video drops. Join the inner circle and become part of a community of men who are committed to understanding female psychology, building stronger relationships, and becoming the best versions of themselves. I will see you in the next video. Until then, remember this. When you understand the inner world, you do not just heal yourself. You heal your relationships, your community, and the way you show up in the world. Because knowledge is power, awareness is protection, and understanding is the key to everything.